Welcome back, everybody. Well, I think today what I have here is this is actually a swimming wake bait. In here, there's a little lip that clicks in place and it gets in there pretty solid. But I think we're going to do what they call let me look here. Oh, it just says minnow, but it is a Red Belly Dace. I'll show you the picture of it here. I think that's going to be a good pattern to put on this lure. Again, I'm still kind of getting used to this and talking in these videos. It's a little weird for me. I do appreciate the support everyone's been giving me so far. It's very appreciated. But yeah, so I'm going to get this thing primed really quick and we'll be right back. Alright, well, we got it primed. The particular primer I'm using is the Vallejo surface primer. It does really good. It dries pretty quick. It seems to have a pretty tough finish, or a pretty tough surface once it's dry. It does take a second without using any air or anything like that. Also, if y'all have any particular fish patterns or stuff like that you would like to see me do and put my own twist on it, put that down in the comments. Let me know what y'all want to see, because ultimately I want to do things that y'all want to see. That way you enjoy the channel, you enjoy seeing the different patterns, and so yeah, we're going to let that dry a second. The next thing I'm going to put down is going to be a silver. Haven't quite made up my mind. Let's see here. I could either do Quicksilver by Createx, or I could do a Galactic Silver by Tropical Blitz. Both of them do a really good job of putting the silver base down. But I think the Tropical Blitz is going to be more of what I'm looking for. It's going to have more of that shine. Because if you remember back from the picture, it's got a really vibrant red belly, and right underneath the gills and underneath the chin area, there's a really bold, almost like a chrome look. And that red's going to really come to life with this shinier silver. So we're going to try that. I know I cut away, but if y'all don't mind watching while I mix the paint and stuff like that, let me know. Let me know what you want to see. Do you prefer the cutaways where you don't watch the mixing, you just watch the painting, or do you want to actually see me mix the paints and everything? And how I bring every little detail of how I bring it all together. I mean, you see all the painting process, but I don't always show the mixings of the paints and everything. I'm getting ready to turn my spray booth on. This is a solvent base, so it's going to get just a little loud. I do apologize. Try and get it on the belly really good and strong to make that red come to life. Get it up in that tail, because the tail is lighter. So in this video, I am going to show more of the ins and outs. It does take a little bit more time. So if y'all want, you can, fast forward a little bit. But like I said, let me know in the comments if you do or don't like seeing, the whole mixing the paint and everything. Y'all, I don't know if you've seen the clip or not, but I did a brook trout the other day that turned out very good. I was very impressed with how it come out. Alright, so now we got that. We need to get some, I'm going to say an ochre. I haven't done this pattern very many times. Actually, I do believe in ochre, like a detailed yellow. I believe that's how you say it's ochre. But I am going to put a little bit of gold on top as well to help bring that yellow to life. So let's get some gold real quick. I think for this one we're going to use some 24 karat gold by Tropical Glitz. Let me know what you do and don't like about my videos. The only way I can grow and get better is by the input from all you that watch. Without your input, I don't know what y'all want to see, what kind of patterns you want. Alright, who's it got to come back on? That's really going to help. So now we got that gold silver transition. I do have the picture sitting here in front of me. That way it helps me kind of see the colors and where they need to go. Now, like I said before, I don't do 100% lifelike, but I do try and get really close. Or as best as I can with what I have. I'll set that thing over here. I gotta turn my heater down. It's hot there. Alright, now this. And detailed colors from Wicked, they do seem to be, I ain't gonna call them transparent, but they can easily show the base coat that's underneath them. And that's why I put the gold down. I think it's really going to help it pop. Alright, Sorry about that, guys. I had to give me some music playing. Hopefully that ain't too loud for y'all. But I haven't done nothing yet. I did get the ochre mixed up. So we're going to get that in airbrush. Make sure I ain't got no dog hairs on there. Our dog, he sheds pretty good. Hopefully y'all don't mind country music. Kind of the music I was raised on. Now we're just gonna get that. See how the ochre and the gold really go together? Keeps the ochre from getting too dark. Helps keep the light brown tones. That we can build on later. And I'm gonna put a little bit more in the back. Not much. Yeah, I think that's going to transition real good. I do rinse my brush out in between every color. And all it is distilled water on water-based paints. And I just flush it through there a couple of times. That way it makes sure the colors ran out. On my solvent-based paints, it depends what they require. Some of them require acetone, some of them lacquer thinner. It just depends what type of paint it is. And if y'all are wondering, I do sell these lures when people want to buy them. I don't have a website or nothing. I'm just kind of a hobbyist at this. It all goes right back into the lures. So definitely don't make nothing off of it. I just enjoy doing it, and selling it keeps me from having too much of my own tackle box. All right, the next color we need . I know what color it is, I just can't remember the name of it. I'll tell you in just a second. Alright, we're going to go in with some detail sepia. Just on the very back to help bring that darker color back in. If y'all remember, I said that gold and that ochre helped make that color come in, so we need to darken the back of just a little bit. So we're going to come in with a little detail sepia. Just darken the back up just a little, not a whole lot. I think I'm gonna hit this with the heat gun really quick, so it's gonna get loud for a second. And we're going to put some scale netting on there before we darken the back to help give it just a little bit of a scale look. Don't want anything extreme. I got this really fine stuff here, and I think that's going to do really good. Let me find all my clips. Clippy, 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 clippies. You know, I always think I put them in the same spot, but they always seem to be in a different spot. Alright. And all this is a scale netting. I believe I got it from... I need to dry that just a little bit more, but I believe I got it from Whitmore Farms. But their smaller one is, which is not now where the paint is, but it's stretchy. So that really helps to wrap the lure. I've used this one quite a bit. It's got quite a bit of paint soaked into it, so it's a little stiffer. But down where I put my clips is still pretty stretchy, so it helps there. And it ain't gotta be perfect, you just gotta make sure it's tight to the lure. The tighter to the lure, the better. Because if it's hovering above the lure and not tight, the paint will get up underneath it. And having a little bit of blotchiness here and there doesn't hurt nothing, but you don't want the whole thing to be blotchy. Alright, there we go. Let's try and get this back on the clips, at least enough where I can, there we go. Where's my paint shaker? Let's save the elbows a little bit. And even though this is a detail paint, it's still a little thick. I use the Createx 4021 to reduce and thin down all of my paint. And I really don't have a mix ratio or anything. I just kind of reduce it to where I need the particular paint at the time. Sometimes I want it a little thicker, sometimes I want it a little thinner. Yeah, add a little bit more, thinned it just a little too much. So I guess you could say I just kind of eyeball it. I usually don't over thin it right off the bat. But like everyone says, kind of looking for skimmed milk or cold milk. You want it to move freely in the cup, but you don't want it to be water thin. Okay, now like I said, all we're doing is kind of making sure to hit the back of it. Here with the air from the airbrush, help it dry. When you're messing with stencils and scale netting and stuff, it's best to go a little slower. You don't want to get a whole lot of paint at one time, because even if you got it tight to the lure, you can still wind up getting up underneath it. Alright. Now we're not going to dump that paint just yet because we're still going to use it. But we are going to take this netting off. Just take it nice and slow. Try and get it to lift straight up. There we go. So I kind of gave it a little bit of a scale detail. Now we're going to come in at the head and just fade a little bit of the solid color there. Just kind of looking back at my picture. Now we're going to do a solid stripe right down the middle. There we go. Now we're going to flush the color out. Now do rinse out the mixing dish. Now we do still need to bring a little bit more dark color into the sorry, I was messing with the camera, into the back of it. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put these paints up, and we are going to get a black and kind of tone that down. Actually, I might be able to get away with a brown, a really dark brown. Because that darkness on the back just don't look brown, or don't look black. It looks more brown. So we're going to try this. Worst case scenario, we'll wind up covering this up. But I have what's called a fudge brownie, dark fudge brownie by Tropical Glitz. And it gives a good dark color, but then a little bit of a brown as well. Got to turn the hood on this. There we go. Now that darkened it up really good. I don't know if y'all can see that just yet. Flush that color out, and then we'll start concentrating on the belly. And so this is a good fast pattern. It does work really good around here for smallmouth. I did a couple lures through the summer for some guys locally in this color pattern, and they were really putting a hurt on some smallmouth with them. So I'm hoping that, because right now it's still winter time, that as the bite comes on through the spring, that this is going to really be a good, it's a wake bait, so a good top surface bite, a good lure to really get a good strong reaction with. One nice thing I love about solvent paints is they dry so fast. All right, how are we going to get the belly? We're going to have to hold it like this. All right, so now we need to get, I'm going to try and get that silver, and then we'll do the white. I think the way we're going to get that silver look I'm thinking maybe a little bit of pearl white on the underside of the gill. It's not going to be super strong, but it'll give that white accent that's on the fish. I said it doesn't have to be a lifelike. Sometimes just the colors in the right location can make the big difference.
It's Apple Music Country.
I'm trying to get just underneath the gills. I'm bringing it down past the lip for the bill that goes in there just a little bit to kind of fade it down in. Just spraying a little at a time, drying it with the airbrush. With anything white, you've really got to be careful and try your best to control the color. Go slow, get a little bit on there and dry it. Especially pearl white or platinum white, they don't like to cover really strong, so you got to kind of help them out. There we go. I know you probably can't see it too well, but there is a difference. Subtle, but different. And I do use my own lures, so if anyone's wondering, I don't just paint them and send them off and hope for the best. I actually use my own stuff. Okay, so now I need to get the red. I think the red I'm thinking some candy blood red. That's really bold, vibrant red. Which is really what we need for the belly. It's the Candy 2.0 by Createx, the blood red. I just put a couple drops of it in. It's a really bold color, so just a couple drops in the mixing dish goes a long way. And then I use the UVLS. This is the gloss, the 4050. And it's kind of determines what you're trying to do as far as how much of this you use. But I normally, with the blood red, go about, say, 1 or 2 drops of the blood red to twice that amount with the UVLS. And I use the 4021 reducer. And again, I'm just trying to get it reduced down where it moves freely in the mixing dish. So this is a very bold and bright red. especially when put over a silver base with this stuff, because the candy is 100% transparent. Man, it really, you're getting ready to see some stuff pop. Now the best way to use candy that I have found is do one coat and dry in between every coat. You gotta remember, this isn't a normal paint, this is a candy. Now I'm just using air. And candy doesn't build like regular paint does. You gotta go a layer at a time with it in order to get that color built up. Now that's 2 coats. I'm just using air to help dry it. Alright. The last bit of the paint put in the brush. Now we are going to heat set this real quick. So we're going to put one more coat on just to help bring that solid red, not solid red, but that candy red to life. Alright, now we'll flush the brush and let that dry. We're almost finished up with this one.
Everything I did seemed better
Alright, let me heat flash that real quick. Alright, now this is where we are so far. Now we need to do the black line separating the red from the rest of it. And it shows 2 on the fish, so I'll probably put 1 along here, and I might fade 1 coming here going up towards the back. We'll just have to see what it looks like after we get the first one. So I need to go get the black. Now I am just going to freehand this line. For the way it looks on the fish and everything, it's just going to look a lot better free-handed. We'll be switching over to my detail brush. I gotta turn the hood on this. Is solvent based. Detail on the tip of the tail. We are going to make that tail come to life in a little bit though. I think y'all are getting a good view of what this thing is becoming. Sorry about this, y'all. Live and uncut, that's for sure. So, there's the black line. I like the way that looks better. Y'all are seeing it better now. I have to work around the camera. That's just what I'm going to have to do. but I don't have enough room to get that second line, but we'll be okay. So now we need to make this tail really come to life. I'll move y'all again real quick. If you look at the tail, see it's got white, then the yellow. Actually, it's not really white, it's more like a silver or platinum. So we're going to bring this tail to life. Let me flush this paint out. Oh, the radio's playing some strange music tonight. Alright. So we're going to keep using that detail brush. We're going to use a little bit of white. But we're not going to go super strong with the white. We're just going to kind of gently put it on there. That's the best way I know to put it. See how having that black on there kind of brought that blue color in? See that tail just come to life. Now we got to get the yellow in there. That's what I like to see. Every time you go to paint something, try your best to kind of visualize what, and get to know your paint. I gotta say that first. Get to know your paint, get to know what it does with other paints. And their characteristics. Are they more translucent? Are they semi-translucent? Are they transparent? Are they solid? Because even a solid color, if put on lightly, can be kind of see-through. It's the magic of an airbrush.
Apple, music, country.
But try and think of back to what I was sitting there thinking about what I was saying. Try to think about the steps. You know, look at, if you're using a picture like I am right now, look at it really good and kind of get an idea of what you're going to need to create the effects. Not like me, I don't have a whole bunch of colors. I just use the colors I have to make what I need. And that, being able to do that if you don't have the right color, helps a lot. Now we're just going to put in just a little bit of Wicked Detail Yellow. Now I'm going to mix this just a little bit thinner than normal because I do want it to be completely see-through. I could use a candy, but I think this detail yellow is going to do exactly what I need it to. At least I'm hoping it does. Alright. And like I said, especially when you got it thin, is work in layers. Put a layer down, dry it with the air. Small details like this can go a long way. Alright, that's plenty of yellow. Actually, I need to put a little bit of yellow on that fin. So I put some of this back in here. Gotta mix up just a little bit. Turn the air pressure back down. Alright. Get this where I can see it. Trying to work over this phone's different. There we go. There we go. And it looks like you got a little translucent fin sitting there. Alright, now what we're going to do, we're going to take some, I got some pearl purple. We're going to put on this white to help really enhance that whiting effect. First, we got to rinse our brush out. Take care of your tools, they'll take care of you. put these colors up. All right. Gotta turn my hood back on. Rinse my brush. We're almost done. I gotta put a protective coat of clear on it. It's not the actual clear coat. It's what I call a mid coat. So if you ever hear me talk about a mid coat or an inner coat, this is what I'm talking about. It can be done with UVLS or solvent-based products. It's kind of up to you. All it does is it creates a clear barrier to help protect and lock in all the paint. And before you do, make sure any and all dust, because it happens, is off of the lure. You never know what might fall on it. And turn my hood on again. Sorry, I wasn't in camera. Let that dry for a second. Clean my airbrush again. I said I keep it rinsed between each color. Just make sure there's no contamination or anything like that. Last thing you want is go spray a detail and had white in there and go to do black, and next thing you know, you're shooting a gray or an off-white. or they didn't mix yet and you just shoot white before you shoot the black. I have done that. Alright, let me put everything up, y'all, and I'll get the lip put in this thing and we'll show y'all what it looks like. Alright, there it is, everybody. This is the Red Belly Dace, which is a minnow found in the Ozark regions of southeastern Missouri. Like I said, this is a wake style swim bait. We will put, or might even make an eye to match. They have a yellow eye and the line continues through the eye. So I have some yellow chrome eyes I can put a pupil in and spray a little line through. So again, everybody, I do appreciate y'all watching the videos, and well, hold on, let me get this there. But I do appreciate everyone watching, especially if you watch this whole thing. That means a lot. Likes and comments and subscribers really help build this channel. I'm trying to get enough so I can eventually go live and do painting on live. I think that'd be very fun and interesting if we get a big enough, or if I get a big enough following to do so. Like I said, this is kind of new for me doing YouTube, so any advice, any help, if y'all would like to see certain patterns, certain fish, just let me know and we'll definitely give it a shot. Worst I'm going to do is fail at creating it. I mean, I don't shy away from failure. I don't hit it right every time. But I do appreciate y'all and thank you. And until next time, y'all, I love y'all and I will catch y'all later. Bye bye.